Hi everybody, this is Diana, aka Pop Culture Diva 42, and this is another episode of Versus Match with a Twist, which from now on will be held on my channel instead of Zipblock Gory's channel, because like I mentioned last week, Zip doesn't really want to do this series anymore, and I asked him very nicely, would it be okay if I picked it up? And he said okay. So last week I had my inaugural session of Versus Match with a Twist, which had the Star Trek theme, which is the most human machine in the Star Trek universe. And it was between Data from Next Generation and the Doctor from Voyager. And as I expected, because I probably didn't frame the question as well as I should have, the Data won by a landslide. I don't know the exact number of votes because I'm too lazy to actually count and shit, but it was my vote and another person's vote against all the others who voted for Data, obviously. But yeah, Data is the most human machine in the Star Trek universe. Now, on to this week. This is actually the first idea I ever had for a versus match with a twist, and it concerns time travel. The question is, which is the best time machine? And the match is between the DeLorean from the Back to the Future series and of course the Tardis from Doctor Who. Now, a couple of things that are worth considering are that, first of all, the Tardis is a far more complex machine than the DeLorean. Obviously, the Tardis can take you anywhere in time and anywhere in space. But also the Tardis kind of has a mind of its own. It's a machine, it's a piece of alien technology, whereas the DeLorean, while it may be slightly more limited, it is also a more traditional type of time machine. It was built by humans, by a human, for human use. You just punch in the date where you want to go and it pretty much takes you there. And also the TARDIS, while it may be bigger on the inside and everything, the question is, which one of these time machines has a bigger potential as a chick magnet? You can't really go cruising for chicks in the TARDIS. I mean, it could probably take you to a time period where standards were very low, and maybe that's how you could possibly get laid through the TARDIS, but it would be advisable not to get laid in the TARDIS, because according to the last season of Doctor Who, this produces some problems in form of kids with superhuman powers that shouldn't be theirs because their parents kind of fucked in the TARDIS. And it's kind of like, when the TARDIS is a rockin', don't come a knockin', because basically humans are evolving past their measly condition. But I'm really getting sidetracked over here. I think you can have sex in the DeLorean. It probably wouldn't be very comfortable, but yeah, definitely the DeLorean, bigger potential as a chick magnet. Also, it should be mentioned that the Back to the Future movies and Doctor Who, they are both, these two franchises mean so much to the popular culture of their respective countries that they come from. Obviously, there are Americans that watch Doctor Who, but Doctor Who is quintessentially British, while the Back to the Future movies are quintessentially American. At the same time, what these two franchises have in common is that they both blend humor and science fiction so well, and they're benchmarks in their respective universes. Doctor Who is one of the most amazing science fiction shows ever, while Back to the Future is probably one of the most successful science fiction series ever that pretty much breached through and became part of popular culture like few other science fiction series have managed to do. But going back to what these two pieces of technology can actually do, obviously the TARDIS can do a lot more, but it may be a lot harder to control, while the DeLorean it's so cool looking, and the TARDIS actually has the capability to bring more people along because it's bigger on the inside and everything. more people along to time travel, whereas in the DeLorean you can fit 2 or 3 people tops. But the DeLorean can fly. Actually, the Tardis can fly too. Yeah, so I'm kind of running out of things to say about these two, so please cast your vote. Which one is, in your opinion, the best time machine? Which would you like to travel in? I think that's the basic idea. Which would you like to time travel in? And I actually have a Doctor Who pendant. I have a little Tardis pendant that I wear around my neck. But now that I think about it, I actually had a DeLorean once, like maquette of the car. But I gave it to my brother. I gave it to my brother and I took it back. I gave it as a gift to my brother, and then I took it back to give it to. Oh my god! I gave it to one of my ex-boyfriends. I cannot believe this. So I bought a DeLorean as a present for my brother, and then I asked it because look, I need. Can you please give it back? You know, I need a cool gift to impress this guy. This is so depressing. So yeah, please vote before I become even a bigger embarrassment and I become more like depressed and dissatisfied with myself. Please vote which is your favorite time machine: the DeLorean from the Back to the Future movies or the TARDIS from the Doctor Who series.